Welcome back to another week here at Side Hustles by Seoenz. I'm Juan Carlos Enriquez.
And I'm Heidi So, and together we are Seoenz.
Today, our host, Heidi, El Paso's Airbnb expert, will talk to us about her top 5 tips for a 5-star review. So let's start, let's get right into it. Number 5 in our top 5 tip is forget basket. So Heidi, can you elaborate on this?
Of course, thank you for having me once again. Obviously, I'm always here. Our top five, it's the forget basket. What is the forget basket? I think I've talked to it sometimes about this during other shows. The forget basket is a basket full of things that you would love to have in case you forgot something, right? So that's why it's called the forget basket. And what do I include there? It's a lot of toiletries. So think about when you go to a hotel and you have the concierge, right? You can always call on them. Well, obviously, you stay at a fancy hotel. And you can call on them and you can ask them, hey, you know what? I forgot my toothbrush. I forgot a razor. I forgot, I don't even know what else they offer, but they offer like certain things and they have like even they sometimes have like a card in the restroom stating this the things that they might have that you might have forgotten. But for them, you have to call them and ask them for these things. Obviously, I'm not at your beck and call when I'm your Airbnb host. That's why I prepare this forget basket in case there's anything that you might have forgotten, and I could save you a trip down to the drugstore, to any sort of you know store at a late night, instead of you having to go out of your way after you come or you arrive from a long flight. Having these things really makes a difference. If by any case you forgot your toothbrush or the razor or maybe facial wipes to remove your makeup, we have cotton balls, we have shaving cream, we have deodorant. There's so many things that I offer there. And I even have, feminine towels, tampons, mouthwash. We just try to have everything there that you could possibly have forgotten, or if there's an emergency that you might have need. Sometimes I even include a sewing kit, because you never know. You might be coming for work, you might need something or a button ripped off. There's many different things that I offer. I would say that throughout all of my Airbnbs, I try to always offer this forget basket, and we always make sure we refill it every time a guest checks out. So, and we also do let them know that this forget basket is for them. It's for them. It's just in case they forgot anything. It's everything there. It's for their use. So that's number five, the forget basket.
So going into number 4, so it is the blog. So Heidi, can you tell us what we do for blogging into our Airbnbs?
Well, I can tell you the story, but I think you're better off telling the whole process for the blog since you're the one that made it.
Oh,
But the reason we made a blog, it's because we wanted to have a place exactly where you can find everything related to where we were at. Because we have 14 units here in downtown, we wanted to make sure that any of our tenants or Airbnb guests knew what there was to do around here in downtown El Paso. So we decided to do this blog, but the reason was because we barely started, I remember I would be getting a lot of messages. Hey, so what can we do in El Paso? Hey, so what can we do in El Paso? And literally, I mean, I would just Google, what can you do in El Paso? And then I would just send them the Yelp page. I would just forward them because, I mean, for me, it was just kind of like, well, but they wanted more of a local feel. They wanted more of, hey, what do you do that I'll want to do? So that's why my husband, knowing knowing me, that I was like, oh, they're always asking me what can we do, and I don't know what to tell them. I mean, I just send them like top 10 spots here in El Paso, but I was being so broad. It was like all of El Paso. So once we decided that we could focus on downtown and then anything that was walking distance from downtown, then the list got shorter and it got more specific. So, what was your intake when you made the blog for me?
Yeah, like you said, there was a lot of questions, and they were the same questions. So they were like, it's midnight. So where can I go get something to eat fast? So it was the same question all over again. So we tried to get everything into a single file, and then it was an automatic response. From then, uh, we just said, oh, maybe we can do a blog, and then we started doing, including that information that we already gathered from the guests, and then the ones that we did, and then into this website. So we offer this website as a way for people that are gonna have that information that is locally, it is updated, and they can quickly, okay, so where can I go get groceries, or where can I go get something to eat, or is there something, I mean, walking distance that I can do. So there's some articles, some information, and then because we got interested in this website, we actually went to do those things. Like we actually went to the farmers market, we went to the all the restaurants that were there, and then
We
we added
recommended them. We made a
uh,
review of our own of why we like them, why we're
what
recommending them
sandwich did
for.
we get in that restaurant, or what hours they were busy or something like that. So we included that information. We also
And the other
included.
thing that you included, it's that you can click on it and then it sends you directly to the maps. So it'll tell you how long it's gonna take you to walk there, or if you're gonna drive or whatever. But it tells you like as soon as you click on it, it just tells
Yeah,
takes you to
sends
the
you
maps.
to maps. Uh-huh.
So, but obviously those are things that my husband did in order to get the blog and the page running. I guess it did take you probably a while, right? Maybe like a couple of weeks just to put everything
Yes.
together.
I mean, the website was easy to do, but the hard thing is to get that information and then make it, I guess, that it makes sense. So
Yeah.
that's the thing.
And but yeah, that was one of the things that we did very early on. We bought the URL, the domain, and actually I think we bought multiple because I still didn't know what to call the the website. When we initially we put
And
the
still, it's gonna be
Union
changing.
Plaza Apartments.com, and then but now we found it's called the Union Plaza, because with this website we were able to do more stuff about Union Plaza here in downtown, than just focus on just the apartments. So once we did the unionplaza.com, obviously we got more people even around here in
Oh, no,
it's
I'm sorry.
the Union Plaza. We even got more people here locally that were actually using the website, because it comes out when you Google these things. But okay, so that was number 4. It is to make a blog. So on our top 5 tips, we have
So
number
number
5, forget basket, and then number 4, it is make a blog for your guests.
Yeah. So number 3, local events.
Great. So here's the story behind that local event. Why I'm making local events for my Airbnb guests and my Airbnb tenants and my long-term tenants, it's because during the pandemic, it was very hard to socialize, to do anything because everything was closed. Here downtown, it got super, super, super slow. There was nothing open. It's super quiet right now. Moving forward, they started lifting the restrictions. We do have an event, a space right underneath the apartments. It's right downtown. It's across the baseball stadium. When we finished making this venue, it was all obviously catered for weddings. But a couple months ago, right now we're in May.
When all the restrictions were
Yeah, in
lifted.
February, when the restrictions were lifted, I did have a quick chat with one of my Airbnb tenants. And she was like, hey, you know what? I'm not working that much anymore. I have like 3 or 4 days off. What can I possibly do? Take me to your salsa socials and let's go dancing and take me out. And I'm like, well, I have a baby now. So I can't really go out every day or take you out. I'm not really going out. Like my husband and I were not really going out. We don't have a babysitter at night. So I was just like, you know what? But I do have the venue. So let me figure something out and then let me see what we can do so that we can do some sort of social event that you guys can enjoy. And that's how Wine Wednesday was born. We started Wine Wednesdays. The first Wine Wednesday was actually March 31st. And we had our first Wine Wednesday, and now we've continued having Wine Wednesdays every Wednesday. It's at 7 p.m. here at the venue, right underneath the apartments. But it's open to the public. It's not just for the tenants. It's open to the public for everyone in El Paso that wants to come and show up. You just have to bring your own wine and have fun. It was because of this tenant that I decided to get more involved in making this sort of events. Now, obviously, I'm not saying, oh, you have to own a venue to do something like this. No, I mean, you could probably make a meetup, or you can probably, hey, you know what, let's all go for a or you, I don't know, make yourself available for having that social licensing
Interaction.
with your tenants. Some tenants, they're private, they don't want to be bothered. Then there's some tenants, especially right now after the pandemic. I know it's not over yet, but a lot of people are already vaccinated and they feel comfortable going out again and they feel comfortable being around more people and they want to interact with more people. So that's the difference between staying at a hotel and staying at an Airbnb. When you stay at an Airbnb, you're supposed to want to stay at someone else's home. Not because it's meant for a guest or that you cater it to a guest. That doesn't mean that you have to be MIA the whole time. You can be as involved as you want. You can be as available as you want. And for me, it's been a great turnout being available, even if it's just, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. But all my tenants know that I'm going to be here. I'm going to be their host for this Wine Wednesday. I'm going to be there for as long as the party keeps going because I want to be involved and I want to be there. And us too. I mean, we want to socialize too. It's been a hard year for everyone. So that's why we started making these events. But I'm not just talking about making, specific event. I mean, again, there's so many different ways that you can interact with your Airbnb guests. Even if it's, well, for here in El Paso, Texas, I have some tenants or guests that they'll be like, hey, you know what? We want to go to Juarez, but we're scared. And it's like, well, if you're up to it, you can probably take them like a trip, take them to some tortas over there or some tacos. Maybe they just want an experience, but they need a guide. And that's something that I do a lot, especially in Playa del Carmen. In Playa del Carmen, we're very good at offering these experiences because we're so close to La Quinta Avenida. And we know people there. We know people that can offer, those.
And for people that don't know about the which is Quinta Avenida with the Fifth
At
Street
Fifth Avenue.
Avenue, there's a lot of restaurants,
Bars.
bars, stores. So it is a pretty touristic avenue. It extends.
It's like
for
Hollywood Boulevard. It's like if you were in Hollywood because you see the mall, you see all the restaurants, you see all of the
So it
things.
is a street that is closed off to traffic and only foot traffic, so people can walk. So there's a lot of
Vendors,
stores,
yeah,
vendors,
vendors on the street vendors.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's why we've learned how to offer these experiences to our guests, offer them the options to have, hey, you know what, where do you want to go? Yeah, sure. I went to this place and it was super cool. Or you know what, that's why I was mentioning Playa del Carmen, because in Playa del Carmen, you probably want to do tours. You want to do, hey, I want to go here, I want to go there, or you're on vacation. So that's why we make sure that it's not that we get anything out of it. It's like, if you have any questions and we can help you, then obviously I'm not going to be your guide, but I could probably recommend someone that can guide you or give you the tour that you're expecting. And the same thing goes now that we're local in El Paso. It's not just about not being present. It's about, hey, you know what? Let's go dancing. There's a social. We're also doing right now Friday social dancing. Um, but I'm not the only person doing the socials. There's a lot of different socials going on Fridays and Saturdays and Thursdays and Wednesdays because people are starting to go out again. So it's not the fact that you have to do the event. It's the fact that you can offer those experiences
Tips.
to your guests. You know what? Here's where you could go dance bachata and salsa on Thursday. Or you know what? Here's where you can go and karaoke sing and have a great time. It's not just about going out for drinks. It's not just about, you know what, let's go to Top Golf. If you guys are available, if you guys want to do something fun, let's go to Top Golf or let's go hiking. There's so many things here in El Paso that you can do and that you can offer that sort of experience to your guests that they feel like they get to know you. And that's that's tip number 3. It's like local events, but it's not that you have to make the events yourself. Obviously, I'm an overachiever here, but it's the fact that you can be present and do those local events with your guests, or you can at least tell them about them so that they're interested about going about them. If they have some free time, they want to check out the farmers market. Maybe you can, again, or Mexico or Juarez or whatever, downtown El Paso. There's so many different things. The Chihuahuas game. Uh, there's just so many things that they can do, even though El Paso, for a lot of people, might feel like it's small and there's nothing to do. Believe me, there's so many things to do here in El Paso.
And so we finished number 3. We're going into number what is it?
2.
2. So the fast turnaround.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's say we have maintenance issues or we have to do cleaning, so we do it fast. So that's a good thing about being able to be here and be able to, let's say, something that a boiler has is not warming up, so we can level the temperature or something like that. So can you elaborate a little bit more on the
Yes.
fast turnaround, number 2?
So yeah, for me, a fast turnaround, it's the fact that if there's any issue, we try to get it fixed as soon as possible. If we can't get the issue fixed, at least we provide some sort of plan B. My perfect example all the time, it's the ACs. If the AC is not working, obviously they're telling me this at 8 p.m., 10 p.m. at night. Hey, you know what? We just got back and the AC is not working. It's really hot. What can it, blah, 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 So I'm like, okay. And then I send my husband. So obviously I can't get someone there at 10 p.m., especially because it always happens. That's in a Sunday. It's like a Sunday at 8 p.m. And
Yeah,
it's like,
I know, sometimes even at midnight, Sunday at midnight.
yeah. Or last time it was Easter. It was Easter day. And they're like, hey, and I'm like, okay, it's Easter weekend. It's Easter day. It's a Sunday. I'm like, you know what? I really can't get someone out here right now. It was like 6 p.m. on Easter day. I'm like, but I can probably get someone out here tomorrow. But I can probably, I'm going to send someone. I never tell him it's my husband. Sometimes I tell him, sometimes I don't. But I'm like, I'm going to send someone so that they can put a portable fan in your room until we can get the AC unit fixed. When I say fixed, it's just that the Freon run out and it's no longer getting the air cold. It's just the fan. So we just try to, we put the swamp cooler there. It's a portable, so
It's not a swamp cooler.
Oh,
It is
what
a
is it?
refrigeration unit.
Okay, but it's a portable refrigeration unit that you plug into the window, and then it starts, blowing the hot into cold, right?
Yeah. So
Something like that.
yeah,
Anyways,
some details of it. Yeah.
so anyway, so we have this backup plan that we always use. But what I mean with the fast turnaround is that I get it fixed as soon as possible. I mean, if it's not the next day, it's the next day, but we try to get it fixed as soon as we can. It's not like you're gonna be waiting on this for weeks or even days. I mean, we're quick, and that's my job. I mean, that's literally our job, to make sure that everything's running smoothly.
Yeah, so there's, I remember one time that Heidi told me that there was a lady that actually had to cancel their booking somewhere else, and they showed up here because the AC wasn't working.
No, the heater.
Oh, the
This
heater.
was in this was literally Christmas Eve,
Ah, yes.
and
That makes it
the
better.
heater wasn't working where she had booked the her stay. So this is, and she's a great lady. She actually stayed with us for 6 months in different units during all those times. But she got here, well, not 6 months, maybe like 4 months. Um, but she got with us in December 23rd. And before December 23rd, she had actually sent me a request about a unit. And then she's like, yeah, like obviously she was on a budget. And then so she starts telling me, and she's like, but do you have anything that's like a 2 bedroom, a little bit bigger? And I was like, I do, but it's not going to be that price. It's more expensive if you get the 2 bedroom. And anyways, so that happened. And then so she just, she never accepted that booking because it was just a 1 bedroom. So obviously she went ahead, she booked somewhere else. Then 2 days later, the other Airbnb host still couldn't get her heater working. And she didn't even drop off a portable heater. She didn't even drop off some extra blankets. I mean, it's like it's Christmas time and she didn't care that she had an Airbnb guest that they were freezing. So she texts me through that same thread through Airbnb, and she's like, hey, you know what? Do you have anything available? Because right now we're freezing and I just need a place to go stay. But I can't book through Airbnb again because I still have this booking. And even though I canceled it, they don't want to refund me the money. So she was having like all of this drama because of this person that didn't want to fix her heater. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I do have it, but obviously it's more expensive. I can give you a deal and I can get you, I mean, guys can probably move in right now. And then so she's like, I know this is probably a too much to ask, but can we go check it out first? Because I mean, we just had a bad experience and we don't want to, go again blindly and blah. So I was like,
Trust issues.
yeah.
Because
And I
of
was like, yeah,
this
sure. No
experience.
worries. I have someone there. They can open the door for you and you guys can, check out the space and you can see that, obviously it looks exactly like the pictures. So yeah, she's like, oh yeah, thank you. And then so yeah, they came in, they saw, and they're like, okay, we're in love. Obviously, we're gonna stay here. And they were just, they moved in. The next day, we did the lease. I actually offered them a lease for just, I think it was just like, I don't know, like 3 weeks or something like that. So whatever time she needed, like I just did that time frame, and I charged her like a set fee, regardless. And she was just so thankful, so very thankful that I saved her Christmas, because obviously she's away from home. She's still a traveling nurse, so she was traveling in El Paso. She got this bad experience with another Airbnb, and now obviously she was in my best Airbnb here in downtown. And I was like, yeah, no, don't worry. I'm happy to help. I'm happy I could save your Christmas, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas. And I mean, if there's anything else you need, you can always, reach back to me. So that was like one of the things that I would say, it wasn't even my turnover or my turnaround. It wasn't even my fault that the heater on the other side wasn't working. But I think this brings us to like the top number one. It's the great communication. I have great communication, and not only just great, but fast. I mean, I answer immediately. If there's anything going on, I'll be quick to answer any sort of question, any sort of request, even if you are not my guest yet. So, because I love what I do, and I like to give the service that I would like to receive. And that's the difference. between us and other people. I'm not gonna. I remember she still told me, she's like, oh yeah, and this lady, she still doesn't want to refund me, and she's saying that it's my fault, and that how could I possibly have asked her for to get fixed the heater on Christmas Eve. And I was like, you know what, I can't speak for other people, but obviously not everyone has the same work ethic that we have, because we know our job. Regardless, this is still a job. It's our job to make sure that our Airbnb guest has the best stay possible. And if there's any hiccup during the way, that we are able to be there and fix this for them. I, like the title states, I mean, I have hundreds of 5-star reviews, and I've earned them. I really have earned them. I do have the tip. Sometimes I have like the hiccup, or the person that for any reason they don't like my attitude, and I'm like, it just really does slide off from me, because I know that, I mean, if 93% of my reviews are 5-star, I might be I think I'm doing something good. I think I'm doing something right. Obviously I'm not perfect, and for me to have something less than 5-star doesn't mean that I'm failing or that I have a 1-star review. It just means that maybe I got a 4-star, but anything that's not 5-star just goes into that other bucket. But I'm totally fine with that. I really am, because I know that what I'm doing, it's the right approach. And I think we work great about this. Like, we have a great experience that we've learned throughout the years. And that's what makes us different. And that's why I know that if you're listening and that you guys are thinking about doing something like this, I'm very happy to teach you my ways. I'm very happy to teach you my systems, so you guys can be as good as I am. I need more people like you. I want to inspire, and I want to get more people to do what I'm doing. And I'm happy to share what I've learned throughout the years, so you don't make those mistakes, so that you're able to, thrive in this industry like we've thrived, but without making all the mistakes that I did when I just started. Because when I started, there was nothing going on about guides, about telling you how to do it, about, it was just very, and up until right now, I mean, there's not many things letting you know how to be a great Airbnb host. So, you know, think about it, you guys. If there's any other questions that you might have, or if you're interested about joining the Airbnb community, I'm really happy to show you the way to do it. So again, I think this is where my husband will do a recap of our top 5 tips.
Yes, so please. So number 5 was forget basket. So there's a lot of amenities for people that forgot their things. That gives you a great deal of points. So it helps out for people that are traveling. They forget something, and sometimes when they get there, it's already everything is closed. So it's nice to have those things. Number 4, it's the blog. A blog it helps you out because it answers the questions that you have already received and have already answered in a way that flows well to your guest. Some common questions are like where to eat, what to do, where to shop groceries, or maybe safety issues that you can specify there, or even things that are cheaper if you tell them, oh, just tell them that this place opens happy hours. That's something that can be added there too. Number 3 is local events. It's to make yourself available to the guest, and not only create something like an overachiever like my wife would do here, making socials and salsa socials, wine Wednesdays. So, but you can actually tell them, oh, hey, there's something going on this weekend. I'm going. Do you want to go? Or I give him a ride or something like that. Make that interaction. So that would be even more points for you. Number 2 is a fast turnaround. We fix things as quickly as they let us know. So having backup systems, having that, if it's Christmas Eve, or I mean, you can, if the heater is not working, it's your responsibility. You're getting paid for this. So it's something that, I mean, for us, it's naturally because we've been on the business sense for a while. But I mean, is your customer. Your customer is the one that makes you more sales. So whatever they say, as their experience, is going to be reflected on your platform, on your profile, and that makes you more or less customers. So be quickly to fix the issues that come up. It's not their fault. It's not yours. It's just life. Number one, great communication. So this is something that my wife is really quickly to tell you that, okay, so this is something that she does and makes and I've seen it on the threads conversation, that people would say, oh, I'm so thankful that you answer so quickly, and that gives you such a big edge, because not a lot of people answer that quickly and give you pointers, or give you like, okay, so yeah, you can come and see the venue or something like that on that listing. So it gives you a lot of points. So that's a recap, and thank you for joining us today. Please share a comment, or I mean, you can give us any questions on the comments below. And if you have any topic that you want to discuss, any content that you want to share, please let us know. We're here, and we have a lot of places where you can send us messages. So it is on Instagram. We have Made by Seoenz. We also have.
Yeah, so you can reach me at Made by Seoenz. That's where you'll find everything that we touch, whatever's under our umbrella. You'll find things about our venue, our Airbnbs, um, any sort of business that we have, you'll find it there. If you want to have any sort of consultation through Airbnb, you can find me at EPTX Airbnb, and that's my personal page for Airbnb consultations. I can also offer you the service there that we offer throughout the whole Airbnb experience. And our website is seoenz.com. You can find our services there. We still need to make some tweaks, but they'll be up shortly. You can find our blogs. You can find the products that we do. You can find everything there. YouTube channel, and all the remodelations that we've been doing, from barn doors to making a new wall. So we're happy to have you, and if you have any questions, you can also email me at heidi@seoenz.com. I'll be happy to respond to any questions or any inquiries if you have. If you want to stay at our Airbnbs, if you want to check out our Playa del Carmen condo, or if you just want to have a consultation, a quick walkthrough, we can do a video call, or we can set up an appointment and we can go and see it out.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you next week.
We'll see you next Friday. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.